Hello all, this is Zimnala coming at you with another adventure in Demise, Rise of the Kutan. We're going to be continuing our lore readouts with our friend Sticky Fingers. So let us get on in and see what is in store for us this time. So last time we had gone through the helmets. Next up is gloves and gauntlets, followed by cloaks and bracers. Interesting. How about we do a triple item extraordinaire and get right on through it. So starting on up with the basic leather gloves. The wearer of these good leather gloves will gain a small advantage in combat. And we have the cursed gloves of the Blackguard. While they may have been well dressed, former wearers of these ill-omened coverings incurred the wrath of the gods. The curse still affects the gloves, providing terrible disadvantages to anyone unfortunate enough to put on a pair. Then we got the Nugina gloves. Created from the thick hide of the cow-like Nugina, these gloves hold a minor enchantment that increases their attack advantage. You have the gloves of strength. Made from highly enchanted leather, these gloves provide a decent combat advantage, as well as a slight boost in the wearer's strength. We have the Thieves' gloves. Made from the supplest kid skin and the recipient of a strong enchantment, these gloves will give the wearer a good dexterity boost. Then we have the Master's gloves. These fine gloves are heavily enchanted to provide a good boost to both the wearer's attack ability and strength. They are made from the skin of the bear-like pandrons. Then we have the Gloves of Might, an improvement on the enchantment used on the Master's gloves. These gloves give a very good attack increase, as well as an increase in strength. They are made from a white bear hide. Then we have the Gloves of Power. Created from the hide of the mighty Morden Pandron, these powerful gloves imbue the wearer with a great attack advantage. They also give the wearer some of the strength of the Pandron and a small boost to dexterity as well. Then we get the Gloves of Death. Prized by combatants of all types, these gloves give the wearer a massive boost in attack ability, as well as a good increase in strength and a boost in dexterity. And the Lethal Gauntlets. These are a gauntlet, actually. They're the first one that you have in the store, but they actually aren't really that good in my opinion. Found only in the store, lethal gauntlets are famous for their ability to aid in striking a foe, as well as their boost to strength and dexterity. And you have the Nugina gauntlets. Made from the tough skin of the Nugina, a cow-like creature. These gauntlets are thick enough to prevent damage while reinforcing the wearer's arms to allow a slightly better chance of hitting. Then we have the Gauntlets of Fumbling, a cursed gauntlet. A little different from the Nugina hide gauntlets. These gauntlets have at some point been bathed in the blood of a good dragon, which not only renders them ineffective, but actually curses them as well. And you have the Iron Gauntlets. Lighter than Nugina gauntlets, Iron Gauntlets provide just as much combat advantage, but also contains a powerful enchantment which will increase the wearer's strength. And we got the Steel Gauntlets. Made of good steel, these gauntlets provide a good attack advantage, as well as the normal defensive adjustment for gauntlets. They also give a benefit towards the wearer's strength. You got the Cursed Nymphlets. No one is quite sure who made the first set of these infamous gauntlets, but anyone fortunate enough to don a pair will often curse both the maker and the gods. Not only is there a strong penalty against the wearer's attack and defense, but several attributes are also decreased. And we have the Gauntlet of Power. No, the Gauntlets of Might, actually. Forged from the alloy of steel and adamantite, these gauntlets give the same benefits as the more common steel gauntlets. They provide higher attack benefits, however, and also contain a more powerful dwemer that increases the benefit of the wearer's strength. Then we got the Gauntlets of Power. Created from pure adamantite, these gauntlets provide a very good benefit for the wearer's attack ability and a significant increase in strength. Then we have the Mythenite Gauntlets. Made from Mythenite and containing powerful enchantments. These gauntlets give a great boost to the wearer's strength in addition to a very good attack benefit. Then we have the Gauntlets of Slaying, a variant of Mythenite Gauntlet. These darkly gleaming gauntlets have a better attack and defense benefit than the normal Mythenite gauntlets. They also provide a great strength increase. We have the Gauntlets of Burning Fury, highly coveted by master warriors and their kin. These exceptionally fine enchanted Mythenite gauntlets provide great increases in this wearer's attacks, defense, and strength abilities. In some ways more important to many warriors, the gauntlets are capable of casting the powerful Sphere of Flames spell dozens of times to handle those occasions where hack and slash is just too slow. And then we have a whole bunch of cloaks to deal with. We have the cloth cloak, a long cloak of simple wool. This garment will occasionally hinder an enemy's blow. We have the Cloak of Night, which are a limited number of cloaks that are found in the store when you start, and when you lose them, you don't get any more. A swirling mass of the blackest linen, embroidered from silk from night spiders. This wonderful cloak is capable of turning its wearer invisible. It also provides the wearer with a good boost to both their defensive and offensive abilities. Finally, it is said that it can cast the spell Summon Shade several times. The only known source of this cloak is the town store. Then we have the brown cloak, made from sturdy brown linen. This cloak has a minor enchantment to help boost its defensive benefit. The Robe of Insight. Beautiful robes of enchanted silk. This garment is prized by magicians of all types for its increase in the wearer's wisdom, rather than its defensive bonuses. The Robes of Remorse, the Cursed Robe. Made from heavy silk. These robes are cursed to increase their weight tenfold when worn. It's said that the wearing of these robes was a self-imposed punishment by mages in the distant past. White Cloak. Made from pure white linen, this spotless cloak is enchanted to provide the defensive advantage of brown cloaks, while giving the wearer some defense against the draining attacks of undead and their ilk. Its cut is eye-catching, and the fit superb, boosting the wearer's charisma and dexterity. A minor enchantment prevents the cloak from staining, maintaining the spotless appearance. It's a favorite amongst paladins. Got the Cloak of Invisibility. This rarely found cloak is made from linen so thin that it's nearly transparent. Is this thing nearly unfound because it's invisible? Just asking. When worn, it renders the wearer invisible to sight, while providing some advantage in both attack and defense. Then we move on to the Black Cloak. Similar to the white cloak in construction, this cloak is made of black linen and has both greater defensive advantage and draining resistance over its paler form. Then we have the Cursed Cloak of Snakes. Shimmering green silk is used to make this cloak, which when worn appears to be a mass of writhing snakes. Indeed, this appearance is not wholly inaccurate. Since the cloak will randomly attempt to constrict the wearer, this is distracting enough to hinder combat. The cloak also causes some discomfort, which lowers constitution while worn. Then we have the gray cloak. Creating from the undyed silk of rare giant silk spiders, this cloak is enchanted to give its wearer good protection both in combat and from draining attacks. Move on to the silver cloak. Created from the thread of spun silver, this gleaming cloak provides its wearer with a defensive advantage equal to plate armor, while giving an improvement to dexterity instead of a penalty. It is also highly effective at preventing draining attacks. Then we have the Robe of Kings. Many layers of the finest silk comprise these robes fit for a king, each of which is enchanted to provide better defense than leather armor. Nearly weightless, it provides an excellent dexterity boost. It also prevents almost all draining attacks from succeeding. And I guess we are on to the Cloak of the Gods, the best one that I remember from the base game. Made from finely spun mythenite, this gleaming cloak provides better defense than many forms of enchanted armor. It also gives its wearer excellent defense from draining attacks and a powerful boost to dexterity. I guess we can go through the bracers too. Bands of bronze. The bronze bracers are bands of bronze with wooden end enforcers. These primitive bracers provide the wearer with a small defensive advantage in combat by absorbing the occasional blow. Got iron bracers. Made of iron, these bracers are better capable of catching enemy weapons and preventing some damage. Steel bracers. Finely forged steel, these intricately carved bracers are enchanted to boost the wearer's strength. They also raise the wearer's ability to strike at foes. Twisted bracers. Formed from two bands, one of black iron and the other of silver, these bracers were created in the dim past for the goblin lords of old. While powerful protective items, their true power lies in their ability to charm dragons. Many times, this power and the dragons that it controls have been the difference between life and death for entire goblin tribes. And this is why the goblin lord always has wyverns with him. Got the cursed lead bracers. These heavy, scarred bracers appear to have seen many battles, a fact which often tempts the adventurers to try them on. Unfortunately, the scarring comes from unfortunates who try to hack things off rather than endure the penalties that these bracers bring. Got the bracers of strength. Made by dwarven smiths, these exceedingly fine bracers give an extra strength bonus beyond that of normal steel bracers. Then we have the elven bracers. Made of a mixture of steel and mythenite by elven smiths, the elven bracers are heavily enchanted to provide good offensive and defensive bonuses. Although almost effeminate in appearance, the frail appearing beauty masks the strength imbued in them, although it certainly hints at the increased dexterity it provides. So these ones pretty much just raise your dexterity. They don't actually raise attack. Strength as much, so I tend to skip them. Because dexterity makes you go first, but often by that point you're already going first, so it is of limited usefulness in my opinion. Bracers of Might. Pure adamantite, these bracers are heavily modified, enchanted, to make the bearer more effective in combat. Then we have the Braces of War. Unknown until recently, The Braces of War are made of pure midnight and are coveted by all adventurers for the strength and massive combat advantages that they confer on the wearer. Those are the best that I'd seen in the base game either. There's only a few of the sashes, so I'll cover them. So Dorlin's sash is also a limited item in the store in the base game. Once you go through the first 5, they are gone. Like if you drop them or if you get them destroyed by item destroying monsters or traps. A surprising creation by the novice artificer Dorlin, who was experimenting with non-cursed sashes. This simple strip of cloth will provide a small defensive advantage to the wearer. Unable to recreate the experiment that created the sash, the only 5 in existence were sold to the store to pay for the rest of his training. And all the other ones are cursed. The Sash of Shades. A band of embroidered white cloth that appears to have been torn from the funeral shroud of a priest. This sash provides little defensive ability, however it is valued for its ability to summon shades from beyond the grave to make a brief but vicious attack on many enemies, tearing the weaker limb from limb. Then we have the Dragon Sash. Made from the hides of red, blue, and black dragons, this handsome sash is capable of charming dragons that are mesmerized by its oddly attractive yet simultaneously repellent band. It also gives some advantage in combat. Then we have the Static Sash. Created from the skin torn off of a still living Lemurian, this sash is capable of producing a powerful electrical discharge on demand. Then we got the Sash of Flames. By tearing the skin off of certain demons, a sash of flames is created that can be used to create large spheres of flames when required. A great deal of combat ability is also gained. We have the best one in the base game, the Saren Sash. Created from strips torn from the golden cloak that was stolen from Sarin, a healer of nearly mythical ability. The wearer of this sash is capable of performing great acts of restoration until the power is finally drained from the strip of cloth. And there you go. That has been our reading of those 4 item classes. I hope you enjoyed this telling, and I will catch you all next time. Take care for now. Bye-bye.